X-Men, the animated series. It was classic. It was the series that really brought a lot of people who may not have been all that familiar with the X-Men into enjoying the X-Men. It made people want to learn more about these characters, all these great characters that it had any amazing stories: Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, Mystique, Rogue, Gambit, Beast, Nightcrawler, Professor Xavier, all the different mutants, Magneto, Archangel, Mystique, all of them. In one form or another, the X-Men animated series really helped people grow to enjoy the X-Men, and it made a lot of people get interested in the X-Men books and all these amazing characters. Well, if the MCU has anything to say about that, you could forget all about that crap, because now it's the age of the Force is female. So what better thing to do? Well, if you're going to bring the X-Men into the MCU, why not make it all about the women? Because that's what's important. Nobody gives a shit about Wolverine, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Beasts. The rest of them, not the hell with them. Understand me? What people want is another disaster, because they have learned nothing from the Marvels. Let's get into this. A rumor coming out, this article from Bounding Into Comics. Rumor: Marvel Studios' upcoming X-Men Reboot to center on female mutants feature Mr. Sinister as the villain. Okay, I'm going to get through this and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. In What If True would go down in history as perhaps the most predictable Marvel Studios decision of all time, a new whisper on the street has suggested that X-Men's debut outing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe will not focus on any of the titular team's iconic incarnation, but instead tell a story centered on the female mutants amongst their ranks. Now, the reason why I would be willing to believe this is because you're getting pretty similar rumors when it comes to Fantastic Four. It's all going to be about Sue Storm, and literally everybody else in the movie was a penis as an asshole. That's what you're getting. So I would be willing to believe this, because that's what Marvel/MCU is pushing, to the detriment of their own demise. I mean, 2023 will probably go down one of the worst years they ever had, but are they going to stop? No. Or don't get me wrong, the X-Men have some pretty iconic and badass women in them. First and foremost comes to mind, or which to me, is Storm, who's literally like a goddess. She controls the weather. That's what she does. There's Jubilee, there's Psylocke, there's Ms. Marvel, all these different characters. If I want to them here and get the names, Marvel Girl, Marvel Girl, that's it, Miss Marvel, Marvel Girl, Storm, Psylocke, and Jubilee. Yeah, they are some pretty iconic and badass women when it comes to the X-Men. But the X-Men are a team and there are men in it. And when they work alongside them, not a problem. But here we go. This latest rumor regarding the cinematic return of Marvel's Merry Band of Mutants was first raised to the public on December 18th, courtesy of a post made by noted scooper Daniel R.P.K. Rickman to his personal Patreon account. Therein, per recap by news. Okay, so this is what he put here. X-Men Reboot. Marvel Studios' current plan for the X-Men Reboot includes focus on the female characters. Mr. Sinister's top choice for main villain. No Magneto involved to differentiate it from previous films. Finally. So this sounds so promising. Now, again, let me make this clear. I have no problem with the female characters in the X-Men. They are among some of the most amazing women in comics. Literally, all of them are some of the most amazing women in comics. When done right, they can work alongside the X-Men, no problem. The other team members, no problem. But we know that's not what we're going to get. Because literally, the MCU cannot help themselves. They literally cannot help themselves. They want to find every way possible. I mean, look at Blade, for instance. They're trying to bring this Blade movie so long. The last rumors we got is that Blade is going to be sidelined while a bunch of women tell him what's what. This is what they're doing. So I literally have no qualms believing that they intend to literally destroy anything and everything that could have been good when it comes to the X-Men once they decide to do this shit. That's what I believe. Now, secondly, when it comes to Mr. Sinister's top choice for main villain, I like Mr. Sinister. He's a pretty damn good villain when done correctly. But I'm referring to the Mr. Sinister of the past, not this freaking lunatic dumbass that they have now calling himself Mr. Sinister, who's basically just some kind of idiot who runs around. I mean, if you have bothered to even take a look at what current state the X-Men is, and you take a look at Mr. Sinister, you won't even recognize the characters. Force it so badly done. Mr. Sinister is no longer Mr. Sinister because Mr. Sinister is a mutant, basically like an evil mutant geneticist. He wants to create the ultimate mutant life form, and he wants Jean Grey and Cyclops as his portal because he believes that the two of them can create the ultimate mutant life form. Now, keep in mind, he did clone Jean and got Madeline Pryor, and then, Cyclops and her hooked up, and that's how Cable was born, and that's what he was really looking for. So that's it, because Cable is a really badass mutant. Okay, so if Mr. Sinister of the past, not this current idiotic version, is done well as a villain, I will not have a problem with it. I think that'll be really good once done. Again, I say no Magneto involved to differentiate it from previous films. Finally, yeah, okay. If you don't want to put Magneto in it, okay, because we've had Magneto in literally practically every X-Men movie that Fox did before. So somebody different would be welcome. Excuse me. But this whole female-powered X-Men thing, that ain't where that will work at all, no matter how you do it. Though the Scooper did not provide any details as to which specific heroines were currently being considered, but I could tell you one who they're going to put in for sure. To bring the fight to the aforementioned mutant geneticists, it's likely that the Iman Vellani portrayed Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, will be among them, as she is both the MCU's first official mutant and one of its currently favored female characters. Why is she favored? Because they keep trying to push Miss Marvel like she's a thing. Her TV series on Disney Plus was one of the lowest, I think it was the lowest viewed MCU series ever. The movie that she was in, the Marvels, bombed so hard that I don't even think they could find a way for it not to have been an absolute disaster. Yet they keep trying to push this character because they keep trying to figure out, if they do it non-stop, you'll have no choice but to love her. That's not going to happen at all. And in this series, they did actually refer to her as like the first music of her. She said, "Can I hear the X-Men music play?" So yeah, they're going to push her into that because they keep trying this and failing miserably, but when they won't stop. Yeah, this is what people want. Yeah, sure. Why not? Notably, though Rickman's scoop has yet to receive any official confirmation, okay, its information is lent credence by the fact that Marvel Studios has an established habit of subverting audience expectations in order to artificially bolster the franchise's female representation. Yeah, and they even talk about them here, right? They talk about Ghost. In Ant-Man 2, Ghost was gender swapped. Ghost was a woman, even though Ghost has always been a male character, and actually pretty interesting when done well. No. Okay. Captain Marvel. Marvel the first Captain Marvel was Marvel, but no, they didn't even bother to do that with him, and that's made Carol Danvers Captain Marvel never work. And then of course we have this atrocity here as in Taskmaster. And I don't mean something where I'm saying atrocity because it was an absolute atrocity. The Black Widow movie was just terrible overall. It was terrible. But what they did with Taskmaster was absolutely horrendous. Taskmaster has always been male. It would have been really good had they actually wanted to have Black Widow actually having to battle the real Taskmaster and find a way to do it. Okay, no. Let's just swap some woman in who was some girl from years ago and, none of the kind of controlling and she's the new Taskmaster. It made no sense. But that's what they were doing. And they keep doing these things at low effort to pander to people who have no interest in anything like that. But then when it is you talk about it and say that these things make no sense, people come out to attack and say, oh, you don't like strong women. How is this strong women? The whole reason strong women because they are their own characters. They are women and they could stand on their own. When you keep swapping them, pushing them to the front, it doesn't make sense. I mean, that's it before I say again. Look at Ahsoka. Women can't play men. That's it. They don't want to listen to it. We keep getting nonsense like this. Right? They even go on and talk about while not as common, the second comes in the form of ham-fisted, virtue signal heavy storytelling. One of the franchise's male character has his character completely shredded and disrespected in favor of boosting the profile of their female successor. Yeah, they keep doing that. Flag smasher being heralded as morally superior to the Falcon in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because that needed to happen. They talk about Jane Foster proving herself more easily able to wield Mjolnir than Thor himself in Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, even if you don't look at Thor: Love and Thunder and look at the Marvel comics in regards to when they did that whole Jane Foster is now Thor thing, it made no sense. Thor is Thor. He's had the armor for thousands of years. His name is Thor. But no, she was somehow better than you had Thor running around telling everybody, oh, she's better than me. And then in Love and Thunder, again, she was just perfect at doing it with just like that, off the bat. Was absolute. I mean, the movie was just total garbage to begin with, but was just totally nonsense. And then, of course, I'll talk about this absolute god-awful nonsense, She-Hulk. She-Hulk was absolute garbage. I reviewed every episode of that total nonsense. I mean, the worst line in that thing for me was when you had Jennifer Walters telling Bruce that, she has to deal with anger and stuff more than him every day because it's much harder for her. Yeah, it's not like your father killed your mother right in front of you. You literally have a monster living inside of you. You tried to Minecraft yourself and you've been hunted down for most of your adult life because of the Hulk. But no. She has it harder than him because she's a woman. That's it. It's absolute nonsense. But then again, they talk about, I'm going to get to the part, right, where Victoria Alonso actually made this totally ridiculous. I said, I don't know where the future is going. It's funny that people call it the X-Men. There's a lot of female superheroes in that X-Men group, so I think it's outdated. Yeah, because Victoria Alonso didn't know when to shut her mouth and kept saying ridiculous things, and that was it. Because X-Men is X-Men. They call the X-Men because they're named after Charles Xavier. And let's not be X-Men doesn't mean men, because when you talk about women, that's what you have to say. Woman, man, woman, women. That's or men, women. That's how it works. So it's not being sexist to anything at all. But this is what we're getting. The rumor is out there that apparently we're going to be getting the all-female X-Men team is going to be taking over. So everything that you loved about X-Men, all the X-Men animated series, they intend to erase all of that. Because we have that X-Men 94 to 95, or 96, I think it was X-Men 97, series coming up that I haven't heard anything about it in a while now. Which that and all is not looking like it's going to give any hope to anything, but If the MCU has their way, everything you loved about X-Men is going to be flushed down the toilet. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell and notify every time I put a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.